Okay, I guess let's start with this Zoom meeting discussion. Well, for any online discussion, since we are online, so one person will be speaking, and so be careful with that. So try not to speak at the same time with whoever would be speaking. Otherwise, people would be difficult to hear the audio. And we are going to record this, and we will share this recording to people who may not be able to join us tonight. And then you can ask questions. And if you go to your panel at the bottom, you will find this chat box icon. And if you click on that, then you can type in your question or comments. And so please use it. Maybe for the time being as a test, why don't I ask you to click on the chat box icon and type in which club are you from, which Lions Club or Lioness Club you are from. And like Glenn and Barry, if you can see some of this, you may want to read it out just to give people a feel on which clubs that we have in the audience tonight. Give us a few examples.
Okay. We have Debbie, oops, just shifted. We have Margaret from Kenmount, Gail from Pefferlaw, Mary from Holland Landing and District, some guy named Tom Gordon from the North Newmarket Lions Club, good club though. Eleanor Caldwell from Blackstock.
Oh, very good. Okay, so I think we can get connected, right?
Kevin Humphrey from North Oshawa.
Lion
Okay.
Tim,
Yep.
you've also got Cheryl from the Pefferlaw Lions Club, but I'm using my phone and I'm not able to go on to a chat box icon. So I just verbally told you where.
That's wonderful. Thanks very much, Lion Cheryl. But again, throughout the meeting, if you have any comments or questions, maybe just feel free to jump in if that's the case. All right. So I will be also showing you how to use polling as a feature provided by Zoom later on. Now, the agenda for tonight is to show you how to book your Zoom meeting, because our district has acquired just one license, and we are going to share it among ourselves. So we have set up a booking process, and then we'll show you how to start your Zoom meeting after you have booked it. And then we'll show you some of the commonly used features available. And during the social time, we talk about that Zoom is able to allow you to share videos, and the video will go through with good quality of audio and video together. And that is something that would be better than GoToMeeting. So something to note about. So we'll do that as our agenda. So hopefully at the end of the session, you will have a good understanding on the booking process. Then you can come to me as the person kind of coordinating the booking to book your meeting, and you know how to start your meeting, and hopefully you can run your meeting in an effective and productive manner. That will be the objective for tonight. So a little bit of general information on what is Zoom meeting. Think of it as a tool for online meetings, and also think of it as an online meeting room. So it's like a meeting room, physical meeting room, and it can only have one meeting at a time. So you need to book it. You need to specify the date, time, and duration that you want to book it for. And then you will have to assign a host to start the meeting. So typically when you book it, you may be the chairperson of the meeting, you may be the club president or club secretary running that meeting. So you will be the host. At times you can assign another alliance to be the host to start the meeting, but then we talk about it a little bit later. And then you have to send the information to the participants. And the good thing with Zoom is people can join in using multiple platforms, like a desktop, a laptop, or iPad, or a smartphone, or even calling in from a phone line, a landline. And as I mentioned before, the district has acquired a license for clubs to use. So there are two roles I want to kind of mention here so that we don't get confused. When we participate in any online meetings, there are basically two roles. Either you are an organizer or a host, or you are a participant. Now, the term organizer is being used by GoToMeeting. The term host is being used by Zoom. Basically, they mean the same thing. but I just want to highlight it so that you know when you see organizer or you see host, you know what it is. Now, as an organizer, if you're using GoToMeeting, or as a host, if you're using Zoom, what do you have to do? Again, you book the meeting, you send the meeting invite out to all your attendees, your invitees, and then you start your meeting and run the meeting. If you see the start the meeting bullet, I have 3 asterisks there. It's important for you as the organizer or as the host to start your meeting. Don't start other people's meeting, because as I said, this license, whatever GoToMeeting or Zoom, actually is representing a something like a physical meeting room. So you will be there for your meeting. If you start another meeting, which is not your meeting, imagine that you will be sitting in another meeting room waiting for your meeting attendees to join you, and while the other people would be sitting in a different meeting room waiting for you to come in to start the meeting. So you may have that conflict. So make sure you have that understanding when you start your meeting as an organizer or as a host. You look for your own meeting and start your own meeting. Now, as a participant, what do you have to do? Of course, I would suggest that it's always a good practice for you to respond to the invite, saying that you are joining or you are not joining, so that whoever is organizing that meeting would expect that you are coming or not. And then you join the meeting by clicking on the link provided. So I would suggest that if you are not an organizer, if you are not a host, don't log into the GoToMeeting website or log into the Zoom website to join the meeting. You don't have to. Just click on the link you are being provided. Then you will be able to join the meeting, kind of quote unquote automatically. All right, so some basic here. So how do you book a meeting to use the Zoom meeting provided by A16? Well, basically, the procedure is very similar to the booking of GoToMeeting. We have a calendar post on the A16 website, lions16family.org. Under that calendar, you see that all the booking that has been done for either GoTo or Zoom. And if you have a specific date and time that you want to arrange or organize your meeting, then you check whether the date would be available. If it is available, send me an email, then I will set up the meeting for you, and I will send you an email with the meeting detailed information. And then you will share that meeting information to all the invitees that you want to invite them into your meeting. All right. So here I like to show you the booking calendar on the A16 website. So if I may go to my browser. So you go to the browser, you type in lions16family.org, then it will bring you to this homepage of our A16 website. So under menu, go to and Zoom booking calendar, click on it. It will bring you to the A16 GoTo and Zoom booking calendar. If I enlarge it a little bit. So you see all the booking on this calendar. We are using 2 different color code. Hopefully you will be able to recognize it for GoTo booking and Zoom booking. And we started the booking entry with Zoom, meaning that this meeting is booked on the Zoom license, or we started the meeting description with GoTo, meaning that this meeting is booked under GoTo. So say if you are trying to organize a meeting for your club on Wednesday, November the 11th, then you look at on that booking calendar, or at 7 p.m., the Zoom license has been booked by North Newmarket. So if you want to use Zoom for that evening, well, then chances are you may not be able to use it. But if you want to use GoToMeeting for your club to have a meeting on that evening, it's available. So that is how you can check on the availability of the meeting. All right. Any question on that so far?
Just Tim, everybody should look to see how full the calendar is already.
It is actually, yeah.
Yeah, which is a good sign, I would think, but that's me.
Yeah, actually, this program has been fairly used, I think I would say. And at times I've been asked to book, I have double booking requests on the same day. But again, we are taking the approach as a first come, first serve basis. Of course, we don't expect a club to like book multiple months multiple dates, etc. But we hope that the people would be able to like plan ahead at least maybe a month horizon, and then kind of share the resources. But other than that, now the other thing I want to mention is you have two options under A16 provision: the go-to by A16 or the Zoom by A16. But just in case, if both of these resources are being booked at the time that you want to have your meeting, you can still try to use the go-to meeting provided by multiple district A. So that would be the third option. Okay. All right. So let's go back to to my PowerPoint presentation. All right. So that's so much on the booking. So if you find your time slot, send me an email. Let me know that whether you are booking GoTo or booking Zoom, the date and time and the duration, and then I will send you an email with the meeting information. So this chart is my backup just in case if I wasn't able to
Lion
get
Tim?
to the website. Yes, Glenn.
It's Glenn here. We had a couple of questions. What?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, one sec. Sarah asked, on the calendar bookings, do they show the duration of the meeting as well as the start time?
It does. It does. If you
have to click on the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click on the meeting, then it'll show you that it goes from 6 to 8 or whatever.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do here. If I click on the meeting, so I booked this meeting from 7 to 8,
Ah, gotcha.
right?
Perfect. Thank
Right.
you.
And if you look at the other one on tomorrow night, is 7 to 9. So you know the duration of the booking.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
Any other question at this
Rita,
point?
you had a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
I think Rita had one.
If there is a meeting, or say on November the 11th at 7, can we have a meeting, say in the afternoon then?
Of course. Well,
Or like as long as it's not the same time frame?
yes, of course. You can have you can have a meeting anytime besides the time slot being booked. All right. So if we take November 11 as the example, so the Zoom meeting between 7 and 9 has been booked. So you can use the Zoom license anytime outside of that time range.
Okay, thank you.
Lion Tim,
Yes.
looks like we are keeping, our district is keeping both the options, GoToMeeting and Zoom meeting, correct?
Yes. Right now we are keeping both.
So what difference do you notice? What's the difference in Zoom meetings and GoToMeeting?
Well, I would say if you are just looking for an online meeting setup, either one will do the job. But if you are running a training session, for example, if you are running a training, you need some specific features in your online meeting. For example, if you want to play video, if you want to use the breakout rooms, which I will be showing you later for training, for brainstorming or whatever, Zoom would be a better option. All right. So when you maybe when you see the features available in Zoom, then you understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay. So any other question at this point in time?
No.
If not, let's move on. So I'll go back to my PowerPoint presentation here. And so when you send me your request for either a GoToMeeting or Zoom meeting, I will set up the meeting accordingly and send you back with an email. The email content would be very similar to this one. If you look at the right-hand side, the information in the box, I will pull this information to you by saying that the title of your meeting. So if you let me know what's the title, then I can type it in. If not, then typically I would just say that Markham Lions Club meeting or Newmarket Lions Club meeting. And of course, the time, the date and time of the meeting. Now for Zoom meeting, interestingly enough, it only shows the start time of the meeting. It doesn't tell you the duration in this announcement, but in the booking, I will set it up accordingly. So if you want to have your meeting from 7:30 to 9:30 for 2 hours, I will set it up accordingly. But the notice that they send out here will only tell you the meeting starts at 7:30. So just take note of that one. And then you see this join the Zoom meeting link. So this will be the link that you will be sending out. Well, if I am a participant, I just click on this link when the meeting comes. Every meeting is being identified with a message ID or meeting ID. In this example, the meeting ID is 941-470-94480 with a passcode. Now, if you send the link out to your invitees, and they don't have to worry about the meeting ID and passcode because all this information are being embedded into this link. But if you join the meeting just using your the Zoom app or whatever means, sometimes Zoom may ask you to type in the meeting ID and the passcode separately. So if that's the case, you will be typing in these two pieces of information over there. All right. Now,
So line Tim, when you send the information and the timings, so what happens if you start like 15 or 20 minutes before and let's say the meeting is till 9:30 and you go over till 10, what happens?
Well, it depends. Normally, I will not book meeting back to back. So normally I would avoid booking a meeting from 5 to 6 and then another meeting from 6 to 7, because chances are people may overrun and chances are people may want to get into the meeting a little bit earlier to get things ready. So I would not suggest when you look at the calendar, if there's a meeting on the same evening that you want to have, say the meeting already booked from 7 to 9, try not to book a meeting from 6 to 7 because we should try to avoid that. All right. And also when you book a meeting, if you want to start your meeting at 7:30, you can book the meeting at 7. Just like tonight, I announced the meeting start at 7:30. Actually, I booked the meeting at 7. So when come 7, then I can start my meeting and then allow people to come in. So that could be one way you can avoid the conflict of time. All right. And then with this information on the box, you will send it out to your invitees. But as the host for the meeting, I will send you a separate email with the login information to start your meeting. Now, I've been thinking whether I should send the login information together with the meeting information together, but I'm concerned sometimes for the host, if you are not familiar with the setup or the process, you might send everything out to all your invitees. And I don't want to create that confusion. So normally I would be sending you a separate email with the login information to start your meeting, okay? So if you are organizing a Zoom meeting for the first time, watch out for the 2 emails from me. One is the meeting information for your invitees and another email with information for you to log into the system to start your meeting, all right? So again, how to start your meeting. So again, take tonight's example. I booked the meeting from 7 to 9, and I announced my meeting starting at 7:30 to all the invitees. So come 7 o'clock, I would go into my computer, start my browser, whatever browser that you are using, and then go to this website, zoom.us. The good thing with Zoom is you can start a meeting using your laptop or iPad or smartphone. I remember GoToMeeting has a limitation that you cannot start a meeting using your cell phone. So that is some difference there. Okay, so you go to zoom.us or zoom.us, whatever you want to say it. It will bring you to the zoom.us web page. If you look at the web page, on the top right-hand corner, there's a button called Sign In. So you click the Sign In, it will bring you to the Sign In screen. On this Sign In screen, it will ask you to type in the email address. The email address is the email address that we register into the program. And as I said, I will be providing you with this information plus the password in a separate email. So on this sign-in screen, so you type in the email address, which is a16zoom@lions16.com. We use this email address to register for this Zoom license. And I will be providing you with the password. Occasionally, I would change the password just to practice security, good security practice. And when you type in these two pieces of information, remember to uncheck this box called State Signed In. Many times when you log in and if you keep signing in, you may see funny things coming up. I don't want to go into the details, but I would strongly recommend you to remember to uncheck this box before you click sign in. All right, so that's simple. When you start the meeting, you go into zoom.us, go to this panel, type in the email address, type in the password, uncheck the box saying stay signed in, and then click sign in. And that will bring you to the meeting page. Well, this will be the typical page that you will be seeing. On the left-hand column, you see a few options. Typically, when you log in, it will show you the meeting page. Someone was asking about recording. So if you record the meeting, then you will see the recording load under the recording button. But I'm not going to show you here. This is just a screen capture, so it's not the real website here. You go to the meeting page, and then you see on the right-hand side over here, it shows you all the meetings. It has a number of options here. Upcoming meeting, that means future meeting. Previous meeting, that means meeting that had happened. Personal room and meeting templates. I won't suggest any one of you to use it at this point in time, so don't worry about it. So and just in case if the upcoming meeting button is not showing up, just click on it and it will turn blue. So it will show you all the future meetings that has been set up under this Zoom license. I took this screenshot yesterday, so that's why it's saying that tomorrow at 7:30 p.m., I have this how to host a Zoom meeting seminar. This is our current meeting here. So you click on this one, and then you see that there are options: start, edit, delete. So for users like yourself, I won't recommend you to go into the edit and delete unless you want to delete your own meeting. But when your meeting comes, when the time comes, you just click start. So 4 things here. Look at the meeting panel. Look at the upcoming meetings. Click your own meeting, and then click start when the time comes. Okay, questions here, comments?
No questions in the chat.
Okay, good. So now you all know how to start your meeting. All right, very good, wonderful. So what are some of the features available to help you run your meeting effectively and more productively? Well, tonight I'm going to show you this list of commonly used features available under Zoom. Record your meeting. You can look at the participant list. Zoom is a little bit different from GoTo. GoTo can show you 25 active camera on a screen. Zoom can show you up to 49. And you can make a participant a co-host. Co-host would have the function as a host to run all this administration stuff behind the screen or behind the scene. And screen sharing, I'll be showing you a little bit more later. The whiteboard and annotation. This is a good feature if you are running a discussion meeting. If you are running a brainstorming meeting, then you can invite your participants to kind of brainstorm and write down their idea on the same whiteboard page that you share with everybody. So I will be showing you later on this. And you can use a polling feature to set up a poll, launch a poll, and share a poll. And the last one I want to show you is breakout rooms. As I mentioned before, like if you're running a training, this probably would apply to those training programs at the district level. If you want to run training programs, you can have breakout rooms and separating your groups into smaller groups for group discussions. And even for like a club meeting, if you have different committees, you may want to have different committee to discuss on whatever projects that they are taking on by using a separate discussion time through these breakout rooms. So again, I will be showing some of this to you later. Okay, so at this point in time, I'd like to show you a live demo. Let's go back to the Zoom meeting to show you all these all these functions. So are you able to see the command bar at the bottom of my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to say that you can record the meeting. So if you look at over here, more, then you see the drop-down window whereby, because we are recording this meeting already, so you won't see start recording. So right now here, I can pause the recording or I can stop recording. But if you are starting your meeting, so you can come here and click the start recording. So your meeting will be recorded. All right, so just like what we are doing. The other thing you can look at is you can look at the participants list. Okay, you can see the participant list. Tonight we have 23 people altogether. If you click on this list, then you see whoever has joined the meeting. Now, I mentioned before, you have the option of moving a participant into a co-host. Like if I take Tom as an example, I click on more. So I can do a chat with Tom, or I can stop the video sharing with Tom. I can make Tom the host, make him the co-host, allow him to record. That means Tom can record this meeting onto his own computer, okay? And I can do a number of things, put him in waiting room. If he's talking too much, I couldn't stop him. I can put him in the waiting room. What a good feature, right? No, I won't. I'm not putting Tom in the waiting room. And okay, so those are some of the things that you can do with the participant. I think the most common thing you may want to do is to make a participant as the co-host, so that you can have multiple co-hosts together, helping you to monitor all these things and maybe giving you advice or some hints when you run into some technical issues, just like what I had a little while ago. So again, this is just to show you the participant list, making somebody as a co-host. Now,
you may want to have somebody share their screen in a training, or even if you're having a club meeting and a committee has something to share, you could have them share their screen that way.
Yes, and when you share a screen, you can go down to the command to the panel, and you see, if I can bring this up again. So you can click on screen sharing, and right now I'm sharing my screen now, so you are seeing my screen here. You can do PowerPoint sharing, just like what I did at the beginning of the session. And you can do something which is very interesting. I want to show it to you, is to share the whiteboard. I'm going to show this to you. Share the whiteboard. Okay, so I hope you can see the whiteboard that I'm sharing with you here. Now, this is an interesting feature. Well, as a host of the meeting, you can pull up a whiteboard and you can allow all the participants to write anything here. Say if you're running a discussion on how to support Lions Club International in terms of maybe supporting LCIF, what are some of the ideas your club members can think of? Then you can ask your club members to type in whatever ideas that they can come up with. So as a demonstration, may I ask, like, any one of you would be interested to try to click on the text column? Then you can say, get members to involve.
Tim, there was a question about how to get into the whiteboard. Maybe when you're done showing this, can you show them how to get back into it, how to get into it again?
I think when I start the whiteboard, everyone should be able to have access into it. If you go to the whiteboard, if you see the command bar, then that it appears on the top of my screen?
Oh, we don't get to see that, Tim.
'Cause
You
we're
don't get to
looking
see
at your
that?
screen.
Yeah, only the host gets that top of the screen thing. We get the bottom of the screen.
Okay,
But you can open that up from your settings. You can open that up to everybody. That's what I did last week. There were only 7 of us, but I mean, it was everybody was sharing.
so where do I do the setting thing? Here.
In settings, and I don't have settings on my screen, so I can't.
I don't. Well, okay. The last time when we tried this, I didn't have to do anything. Right? Last time when we tried this on, everyone was able to write something on the whiteboard,
Yeah.
and I didn't have to do anything.
It might be because you're in share screen
No, JC can write something on it.
there.
So what you need to do is you need
Yeah.
to, on view options on the top of your screen, you'll see a drop down, like you'll see 2 little things, you are viewing whatever. And right beside it says view options, the drop down, when you click on that, you'll see the 3rd one will be annotate. And then a new menu will appear and you can do whatever you want on the general, on the screen, sharing it with everybody. And you'll notice that your name will appear beside the whatever you
Yeah.
just added.
Right. Oh, I can see Linus Gale is able to write something. 19052. Right?
Good year, 1952.
Yeah.
Nice
And I
hearts.
can see Elizabeth has started writing something. And
Yes.
Susan was able to put something in, very interesting. Right?
Yeah,
So this can be used when you're asking a generalized question to your club members or whatever group you have, and you're asking for suggestions, and they can brainstorm it right there, and you don't have to go one at a time.
And you can have participants typing in the text or like using the line to draw a figure or diagram, or use a spotlight to highlight some of the points that has been put on the whiteboard. And if you don't like what you have been putting in, you can erase it. Like when I say get members involved, I don't like it, and then I can erase it. Right? So I can start typing in something, a new idea. Right? Something like that. So it's a good tool for general discussions
Mhm.
or for some brainstorming discussions. You want to draw people in, pull their ideas, and let them just run free for a little while and play around with this whiteboard. And at the end of the day, after your discussion, as a host, I have an option to save it. I have an option to save this page. There's a save button for me. If I click the save, then I can save it as a PNG file, or I can save it as a PDF file. And if I save it, it will appear on my computer under a folder called Zoom. Zoom will create a folder called Zoom, it's a OOM, and it will put all these files saved from this meeting under that folder. So this is, I think this is a very cool feature.
We now understand how to draw or write on this white screen, but how to go to the white screen, we don't know.
Well, as a host, you have the option over here. So now, if you look at my screen now at the bottom, I hope you can see my command bar. There's an option called whiteboard.
No, we can't.
Mm-mm.
let's see it.
No,
Oh,
only
okay.
Can't see it.
can't
Okay.
see it. Only the host can see that. Tim.
Okay, as a host, I can see that. But when you if you want to initiate this, you go to share screen. You click on whiteboard. There's an option on the share screen option called whiteboard.
Yeah.
You click on the whiteboard and you click share. Then it will give everyone a view of this little diagram here, this whiteboard here.
So when you are starting your Zoom meeting and you are the host, any participant can share the screen?
If you allow them to.
Yes. So whoever is sharing a screen can share the screen as a whiteboard. So this is an option. So when you share a screen, you have the option of sharing like an application, such as a PowerPoint, or sharing as a whiteboard, or sharing a video if you have a video to show. And so those are the options for you to share your screen. So this will allow you with some flexibility. With GoToMeeting, you can share a screen, but typically you can share a PowerPoint, a text-based screen. But with Zoom, then you can have a little bit more variety. As I said, if you are working together on a planning session, on a discussion session, so this could be a useful tool. I'm not saying that you have to use this for every meeting that you have with your club, but for some of the discussion, if you really want to have something for everyone to write on, and so this could be something you may want to consider. Okay, any other questions? Okay, if not, then let's move on to the next one. The next one. Okay, so I hope I'm giving you some idea, hopefully not that confusing. The next one I want to show you is the polls. As the host, if you look at, as a host, the command bar at the bottom, there's an option called polls. You click on the polls. You click on the polls, then you can start a poll. Somehow something funny happening over here. It says you are logged in from another device. Your polling session is inactive. Okay. I don't know why.
Could you be logged on to by your phone?
No, I was able to do that again this afternoon. I can start a poll, but actually I have created a poll. When you start the meeting, you can create a poll, and you can also start a poll when you are at the meeting. So I don't know, maybe one of the co-hosts, if you may want to try whether you have this option that you can click on a poll button.
I don't have it.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah. So when you click on the poll, it will allow you to create a poll. So maybe just put something in, donate $100 to Lineberry.
To me,
Yeah.
yes, please,
Yeah.
everybody,
Yes.
everybody sign up
Oh.
for that.
No, motion by Tim, and second by JC, and then give us 3 options: yay, nay, no comment, and see how it goes.
Gee. Well, I got 2 yays. I'll send everybody my email address so you can just do an e-transfer.
No, the motion has to
So-
be passed, has to be carried before we can do that.
Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good.
So when you send out the poll, are you able to set up that poll? And you can launch it.
So now I will end the poll.
And we'll see the results.
And see the results.
There's the results.
Oh man, look at all those guys that said yes. What's going on?
They're my favorite Lions. I hope they're all from Markham.
All right. So now you
4 of
can,
them are.
so you
Let's
can,
see, yeah.
you can see how the poll is working, right?
Yeah. I
So
noticed
again-
JC was nay.
Again,
So I
when-
abstained.
when you are running your club meeting, you can always send out a poll. If you want to use the poll to do club voting on motions, one thing I just want to mention, you have to be cautious that you have to make sure that everyone attending your meeting will be eligible to vote. Like we had a discussion in previously on our upcoming cabinet meeting, because in the cabinet meeting, only the district officers would have a vote.
Right.
The other people participating is not allowed to vote, or they are not eligible to vote. And if we use the poll feature in a meeting like that, then everyone would be able to respond to the poll. So you may have gather some information or some vote from the people who may not be eligible to do so. So that is the only thing that you may want to think about. But in a general club meeting, I believe most of your club members are able to vote, are eligible to vote. Then you may be able to use this feature to handle club voting. All right. All right, so that's so much on polling. So any question on that? Any comments? Now, the last one I want to show you is the, what time is it now? Let's see. Okay, the breakout rooms. The breakout rooms is another feature provided by Zoom. As I said, you can break out the group into smaller meetings. So what I want to try to do is, I want to break up this meeting into maybe 3 separate meetings. As a host, you can allow the system to do the breakup automatically, or that means it's randomly, or you can assign people manually. So say for this example, I'm going to create 3 breakout rooms, and I'm going to let the system to assign you all into the 3 breakout rooms automatically. And we'll see what happens. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go create. So I have opened up all the breakout rooms.
Hey, we're back.
Back.
Did people not in room 3 by any chance get a hello in the chat?
I'm sorry, Jim, what were you saying?
I said we wanted to see if chat was within the room or in the whole group. So I just put before we quit room 3, put a hello in the chat to everyone. Did people in the other rooms get that hello?
We didn't get it.
We did, yeah, we didn't get it.
It should be within your room
Right.
when you use the chat when you are in a breakout room.
Yeah.
And if you are back to the main room now, if you send in chat messages, it will be for everybody. So I'm hoping that everyone is back to this main room now. Yep.
Looks like we got everybody. Yeah.
Yep. So I hope that will give you a feel of the breakout rooms, and you can have up to six breakout rooms. And of course, I'm just doing a demonstration here. Typically, if you're running a breakout rooms, some suggestion would be assign a person to be the coordinator of each room, so that when you are discussing a topic or an item, you have someone to really coordinate the discussion instead of just people like break out for 5-10 minutes just chatting on the weather. Right? And then you have someone coordinating it. And then as Jim was trying to demonstrate, if you send out chat information or chat messages when you are in the breakout rooms, it will be shared by members in the breakout room. And also as a host, you have the option of assigning who to go to which room. But of course, if you're really running it, then it will take a little bit more planning. But for demonstration purpose for tonight, I was just doing it on a random basis.
Yeah, Sarah just asked a question. Can you use the whiteboard in each breakout room?
I believe so. You can
Yep.
use share. You can use share screen
Okay.
and then click on the whiteboard. I haven't tried myself, but yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Any other questions?
Can we
comment.
use this option at the joint zone meetings?
It depends on whether you have a particular thing that you want to discuss or go through.
So like when we used to have our in-person joint zone meetings,
Yep.
on the tables, we used to make groups, you remember? And
Yep.
we used to give them a task.
Yep.
So that same exercise can be done this way, right?
That's
Yep.
right. Yep. That could be
So-
an option.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. On the cabinet meeting that's coming up, we may start at, let's say at 9 o'clock in the morning, and Constitution and Bylaws Chair Jim would say, okay, I want to have everybody from the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, and we could set up a separate room and we could have our discussion in that room prior to, or we could do it the night before or the day before or whatever, or the week before. But that's a good way that you could use it that way.
May I say, as someone who's going to be having the next joint zone meetings coming up, what I would warn against is, remember, you had a course today on learning how to do this and what the breakout rooms will be. However, Sudha, in a joint zone meeting, you'll have lions from everywhere in the club, potentially brand new lions, and they may not know how to do that. So you may have a lot of lost people. That's why, for example, those of you who are club presidents, you've been asked to pair up with someone, and it will be general, because I didn't want to do breakout rooms and perhaps there might be a general confusion, and I'm trying to avoid that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that this is an option available. So maybe in the future, if you see there's a need for you to put people in your meeting into smaller groups for group discussions, then this could be done. But with GoTo, then this feature is not available. Okay, so let me go back to my PowerPoint. I still have a number of items to quickly review with you. Okay, so I kind of reviewed these commonly used features, but again, you may find some of these may be new, but over time, if you are interested in doing this, there are a number of videos on YouTube provided by Zoom for you to go in, or you can simply book a meeting and then play around with the Zoom software. So you can always try to do that to get yourself more familiar with how to use Zoom to run your meeting. Okay, some general guidelines on hosting or attending online meetings. As a group here, then I can see many of you are club presidents or club officers. And it's important for you as a club officers or as a district officers, if you're running a online meeting, to demonstrate yourself to run the meeting properly. I cannot stress more on this, dress in a proper attire. So don't lie on your couch and then maybe in your work clothes or anything. Imagine that you are attending a physical meeting. Okay, check your audio and video. I always find that you may not need a headset for your audio, but if you can get a simple ear set from your cell phone, plug it in, it helps a lot in getting your audio in a much better quality. General practice, do not speak when someone is speaking. So, and mute yourself when you're not speaking, and try to speak to your camera, because same thing like when you are in a physical meeting, you speak to a person, you have that eye contact, but with online meeting, we cannot do the eye contact, but then we can do the virtual eye contact by speaking into the camera. So something to keep in mind. And I mentioned about the Zoom video tutorials. I put down this website here. And if you're interested, go to the website. There are a number of videos provided by Zoom on different areas, like how to schedule meeting, how to start meeting, how to use breakout rooms, how to use polling, etc. So if you're interested, go to this website, take a look at some of these videos. Most of these videos are very short, like maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes kind of information, just on a specific item, specific topic. So you don't have to go through a whole hour to learn maybe a little piece of information that you are particularly interested in. Okay, so that comes to the end of the session. So in general, I hope you kind of get some ideas. And at this point,
Can you please share the
Andy?
previous screen again?
I'm going to, well, this meeting is being recorded. I'm going to get the recording and then send it to people out. But if you're interested and if you want to copy this website, by all means.
Tim,
Yes.
can I offer just another tip? Because a lot of you will probably be doing club meetings or be a secretary. One of the things you can do as an organizer, remembering when you finish the meeting and you'll be dropped back onto the account screen for Zoom, you can ask, if you look around, you'll see that there's something about the reports. And one of the reports is actually a listing of everybody who attended. Because sometimes it's hard because the titles and the names may not match, or you may not recall, or you didn't record because people didn't want it recorded, but you still need to know who was there. There is the ability when you go out of the, after you're done with the meeting, to go into the account management under reports, go to your meeting that you're interested in, and it'll tell you who was there.
And there were 2 questions. Sarah asked, should you have a moderator to control questions?
I would strongly recommend that, because in any online meeting, if you are the chair, and probably you may have quite a number of things to worry about, your agenda, the content of the meeting, etc. And you don't want to like worry about like people typing in comment and you will have to respond to it. So that's why at the beginning of this meeting, I asked, I volunteered Lion Berry to be one of the moderator. So it's always good. But and also you may have more than one moderator to help you out. Like in this case, I asked Tom and JC and to kind of help out in the whole meeting process.
Yeah. Gail also asked, how many people can you have on a Zoom meeting?
I think the number is 150, if I remember correctly.
On our license, it's just 100.
100, yeah.
Yeah.
100.
And how much for GoTo, Tim?
GoTo is, I think GoTo is 150.
Yeah.
That's why I have 150 in my mind. Yeah.
The one nice thing about Zoom is that you've got double the video cards. I think it's 49 videos that can be put on Zoom. A GoTo is only 25.
Yeah.
Only 25, yeah. Although if you have 49 people active camera on the screen, then those people would be very tiny.
Well, I've been losing weight. Come on. We also have a couple of other questions. How about putting slides on GLT Part A16 website? GLT, who's that GLT guy?
That's me.
So maybe.
Do you want to put Tim's slides on? Why don't you just play the recording?
Yeah, the recording, is that going to go on the website, Tim?
I don't think it will be on the website, but the link will be on website, because I've been talking to Lion Rick. Lion Rick has a recommendation because he said typically the recording file would be quite large, and it would be difficult to put it onto the A16 website because of storage situation. So he has a YouTube account. So he will put whatever recording that we want him to put onto the A16 YouTube account, and he will post the link on the A16 website. So what I'm going to do with this meeting, I will do the same process. I will ask Lion Rick to post it onto the A16 website with a link, And when you click on the link, then actually it will take you to the YouTube for you to view the video over there.
And Tim, I have a question.
Yes.
If someone comes up to your meeting and it's a telephone number only, how do you change that telephone number to the person's name so everybody will know who it is?
Oh,
In GoToMeeting, you cannot. In Zoom, I believe you can. As a host, when you click on the participants list, so you click on whoever individual, and then you have an option called More, and you
can
go
rename.
down, you can rename.
so ask them who they are as they come on and then rename them. But
Okay.
be polite though, Debbie, you know.
So
I'll try.
I just renamed somebody called Hello. Who's Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Barry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's
I'm trying
something new
fighting.
with Zoom. You can rename somebody.
Okay.
Let's
I
Polite.
change
have
that
a
to Y.
specific question with respect to the upcoming joint zone meeting,
Yep.
which is November the 18th. I am chairing that meeting.
Yes.
Who is hosting the actual Zoom meeting itself? Do we know?
I can start the meeting. I can be one of the moderator. I can host it for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that we've got to get for all of the joint zone meetings coming up as to who's going to be.
Yeah.
I think for all the Johnson meeting, we need to have a host to
Yep.
moderate the meeting, while the zone chair or region chair will be the chair of that meeting.
Yeah, just a clarification. It's just a clarification on the R&R roles and responsibilities, so that we're clear before we go into the meeting. And that, so if you're going to host the actual session, I'm fine with that, and I will chair as I would chair any other meeting.
Mhm.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we understand, and rather than butting heads with one another as to who's doing what.
Okay. Any other comments, questions on?
Don't see any.
Okay. So if not, then I think that will come to the end of this session. So I hope I've given you some information on how to book the use of the Zoom meeting and how to start the meeting when your meeting.
I have
time
one
comes.
question, Lion Tim.
Yes.
When you book a meeting, you said if the meeting starts at 7:30, you can book it from 7, so you have the login time and everybody joins up.
Yes.
So when the meeting is booked till 9 o'clock and it goes till 9:30 or 10, what happens? Is that
Well,
continues or it closes?
If no one has booked another meeting after yours, then basically you can continue with your meeting to whatever time that you want. But of course, as a good practice, then we always recommend people to start the meeting on time, finish the meeting on time. So plan your meeting. If you're planning for 1 hour, finish it within an hour. If you plan for an hour and a half, finish it within an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah, we do that, but just asking if it goes over, what happens?
But if it goes over, as I said, I try not to book meeting back to back, so that the people will have the leeway of like overrunning a little bit, and just in case, yeah.
If it goes over, you owe Tim $50.
Oh,
Oh, good. I sent you
That
an
goes to
email.
LCIF.
You transfer to me. You transfer to me, right?
The other thing that what a lot of clubs do and a lot of meetings do is they start their meeting a half an hour before, as Tim was mentioning earlier. And that way you get people that can log in. And if they're having any issues or anything like that,
Right.
they can sort the issues out before the meeting starts. So if you're having a meeting that starts at 7, book it from 6:30 until 8:30 or whatever. And then you've got a half an hour to play with issues.
Yeah. When you book the meeting, again, say if you book the meeting from 6:30 to 9:30, for example, and you plan to start your meeting at 7, then you can announce your meeting as starting at 7. You don't have to tell people that you are logging in at 6:30. So it really depends on how you plan out your meeting, right?
Yeah.
Say for tonight, I announced the meeting, the session will start at 7:30. I asked people to log in between 7 and 7:30, right? So it's how you manage your meeting, and you can announce it accordingly. And for tonight, I announced my meeting from 7:30 to 9, so I still have 10 minutes to go, right? So I'm good. So far, I'm good. And so if there's any other questions or comments, yeah.
He doesn't want to give himself $50.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
Tim,
Okay.
thank you very much for hosting this and doing this.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Much
Yes.
appreciated.
It was very interesting. Enjoyed it.
Good. But again, a point of caution, there are something new that this Zoom license is providing to us, new features. But you may want to play around with it a little bit before you run your meeting. And again, you don't want to run into a situation like myself tonight. And I was able to do something and not at the meeting. But again, things like that would happen. But when it happened, as I said, you have a few co-hosts that you assigned, and you just pass the buck to those co-hosts. Right. And if they can do it for you, then you say thank you. If they cannot do it for you, then you say, okay, sorry, we have to try.
It's a technical
Yeah.
difficulty.
That's right. Just laugh on it. So I think that's the best way to handle it, right?
So every club, when they're having a meeting, every club is supposed to do the recording and put it on A16 website or no?
No, you don't have to for your own club meeting. There was a comment from someone.
I was just saying, 3 heads are better than 1, I think is what Lion Tim is saying.
Of course, right? If we couldn't figure out with 3 heads, then so be it. And then we just laugh.
Oh, we put the 3 people together and we got half a brain. We're doing good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Who is
Okay.
paying the $50 then?
Sorry, I got a bad connection. I can't hear anything. What?
Oh, I can't hear that. I can't see that.
Okay.
So who is paying the $50 with the 3 heads? Are we paying $150 then, or what's up with that?
You need a motion? You need a motion again?
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yes, we'll start a poll.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
We're gonna.
Dan Berry has paid many $5.
Oh, I've paid lots. Yes.
Okay. But I think it's fun to play around with this Zoom, and I never organized a Zoom meeting myself before, but once we acquired the license, I've been playing around with it. I think, oh, it's funny. It's fun that I can do something here with Zoom and not doing over there using the GoTo. But there are some differences. But as far as the district is concerned, the plan is we will maintain the 2 licenses, GoTo and Zoom. So in case if you need to arrange meeting, those are the 2 options for you. And as I said, if you really find that you are not able to find the time, even under these 2 options, you can always consider using the GoTo meeting from multiple district A.
We get in touch with David Mills for that.
Yeah.
And you can also get your own account if that what you wish, one of the freebies, or if it's a short meeting. Can you tell about that, Tim, also, if they want to, I think they're freebies, right? What's the limits on those?
Yeah, you can get a Zoom license for free or Zoom account for free. You can go to the zoom.us website to sign in and acquire a free license. And that will allow you to host a Zoom meeting for up to 40 minutes. When your meeting time up to 40 minutes, they will just cut you off.
Yeah, so if you know that you're going to be able to conduct your business in 40 minutes, and a lot of clubs are so thin on activities that it probably is so if you're efficient, and it's booked out on A16 or MDA, you can host your own on your free account for your club.
Yeah, but you just have to be more efficient.
Well, that's it. You have to be more efficient.
40 minutes,
but if
right?
you can
Yeah.
do that, right, Tim? Yeah. If you can do that, it's better for Tim, because he doesn't get as many interruptions. but at the same time, it means that we will have less conflict for the same time slots.
That's right. That's correct. Yeah, that's another option. Yeah.
So if you can do that, you do it. If you think it's going to be more than 40 minutes, of course, use our district and multiple district accounts. But if you can do it in 40, we really appreciate use of the free accounts so that others who have to go long can have that time slot.
Okay.
Lion Tim?
Yep.
Is there a maximum number of people who could be on for those 40 minutes?
I think it's also 100. Yeah, it's just like a normal Zoom license, but the only thing is you cannot have meeting longer than 40 minutes, and I think there are a few features not available too, but I'm not 100% sure, but I read something about that.
Tim,
But
I have
basically the number
the
of people
page
is
right
okay.
now. I have the page right now, and it's 100 participants
Yeah, it's
with
100.
40 minutes maximum.
Yeah, so yeah, the number of participants should be okay.
Thank you.
Unless you're running a big concert.
Just out of
So-
interest, it is not as feature rich as having a paid license, but after your 40 minutes, you can log back in with the same criteria and get another 40 minutes for free.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can keep doing that
You
time
keep
and
doing
time again. So, you just have a 40-minute and then a 5-minute break and everyone's back in again.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Oh, that may
You
be a
can literally
strategy.
send an email to all your club members saying the first part of the meeting, the following click, there will be an intermission, and then you send a second email for the second part of the meeting, and there you go.
Yeah.
So you can actually book it that way if that. But I would say, with COVID being around, I would hope that most of your club meetings can be done in 40 minutes. If you're, like
Yeah.
Tim said, if you're efficient, it can be done.
Yeah.
Right,
but-
Marg? Our club meetings, we've had some of them half an hour, I think.
Yeah, but my wife.
And some of them,
goes
some of
for-
them 2 or 3 hours
Yeah, but those-
when JC is present.
I was, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I
Oh,
ran
wow.
I ran my club
Oh.
meetings pretty short.
No, another $50 from JC if
Yeah,
you
that's right.
overrun the meeting. If you overrun the meeting over 40 minutes, $50.
Yeah.
That may do. Okay. All right. So again, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And it's a good conversation. It's nice to see every one of you tonight. And I'm looking at this online meeting things. Probably will be staying with us for quite a while. So get ready yourself and get familiar with participating or hosting a meeting like that. And chances are you need it.
Oh, Tim, did you show them how to do reactions
Oh no, I didn't mention about it. Yeah,
for your voting purposes? This is very important.
tell us.
Okay, so if you are on a meeting, you'll notice at the bottom of your screen where you have participants and chat. On the outer left, I cannot speak for the phones and the tablets, not left,
Right.
absolute right. of
Right.
that
The
menu.
other,
You see a
Right.
smiley face with a little plus, and it says reactions. If you click on that, you have two choices. You could either clap or you can thumbs up. So when you have a motion, you can do the polling, but if it's something more instantaneous, something you do all the time, oh, let's donate $500 to, you could simply answer with a thumbs up. And if it's being recorded, your secretary will see that and they can verify that the motion did pass with the appropriate people. Or on the fly, you can hold 2-3 seconds so that they can verify who's voting.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
sometimes people will do this, I'm voting yes, and you can't see the hand, right? With this, the hand is in the right place.
Right. That's right. Very good. Very good. Okay. So any other comments? If not, then thank you very much for joining the session.
thanks,
Thank you,
Lane
Tim.
Tim.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Lion Tim. Good night, everyone. Stay
Safe,
safe.
safe
Bye.
drive, safe
Bye,
drive
everybody.
home,
Safe
everybody.
drive home. Yeah.
Drive home, eh? All the money we
Just
save.
smarty.
Oh, yeah, and remember, with all the money you're saving on gasoline, you can donate to LCIF.
Oh, good idea. Good idea.
I thought
Okay.
we were donating to Barry.
Yes, what's the matter with you, JC? I'm gonna knock JC off.
Okay. I'm going to end this meeting for all.
Good
so
night,
no-
everybody.
No more. Yeah. All right.